Talk a little more about the government snooping now. There is new fallout. The unveiling of widespread NSA surveillance programs has members of both political parties talking about civil liberties. Senator Rand Paul is leading the outcry. It's beginning to sound more like libertarian than Republican or Democrat. Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron live from Washington with more on this. Now, Carl, it has united people of all political stripes, hasn't it?
On the Democratic left and the Republican right, conservatives and liberals in both parties acknowledging that they have maybe some more libertarian sensibilities than some of the more establishment Republicans and Democrats who are defending the government's collection of particularly private phone records. The NSA's massive collection of phone records has pretty much turned Tea Party conservatives and far-left liberals to the same sort of opposition that the Obama administration is undermining liberty, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Yesterday, conservative Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, the Tea Party favorite, was on Fox News Sunday, and he talked about it. And earlier today, we also spoke to former two-time presidential candidate and noted liberal Dennis Kucinich. Listen to the similarities in their mutual complaints.
The Fourth Amendment says that you have to look at, and you can ask for a warrant for a specific to a person, place, and the items. This is a general warrant. This is what we objected to, and what our founding fathers partly fought the revolution over, is they did not want generalized warrants where you could go from house to house with soldiers looking for things, or now from computer to computer to phone without specifying who you're targeting.
We have an expectation of privacy. Now, someone will say, well, there's no legal right to privacy. But you know what? Yeah, in a democracy, you have an expectation of privacy. That government will stay out of your bedroom, that government will stay out of your bank accounts, your medical records, your educational records. Once the Patriot Act was passed, it pierced that shield of protection.
And now you have both Republicans and Democrats alike saying that these types of programs have been valuable. They have helped thwart terrorist attacks and catch would-be terrorists. So the possibilities of changing it through legislation very much open. But at this point, the president and congressional leaders saying that they are in favor of these types of programs continuing, and the judicial branch, the other third part of the three-part checks and balances program, critics say they've been a rubber stamp all this time too, John.
All right, so does this go to the courts with all of this new information out there? I mean, what are critics supposed to do?
Well, the Supreme Court has already basically said that business records do not necessarily have a reasonable expectation of privacy and that they can be looked at. The heads of the intelligence committees have been defending all of this. Rand Paul yesterday said he's going to the grassroots, which does raise questions about his possible White House aspirations and whether or not attacking these types of accused intrusions on personal liberties amount to attacks on the Constitution. Here's his plan. Watch.
It invades our privacy, and I'm going to be seeing if I can challenge this at the Supreme Court level. I'm going to be asking all the internet providers and all of the phone companies, ask your customers to join me in a class action lawsuit. If we get 10 million Americans saying we don't want our phone records looked at, then maybe somebody will wake up and say things will change in Washington.
To those worried about their private data, a word to the wise: when you text, subscribe, sign on, get an email from any political campaign or party, they keep that data and they use it. There's a lot of political, presidential, and congressional election in 2014 implications here. All these, both these parties are choosing sides as to security versus liberty, and what is going to be hearings for the next months on how to plug these holes and protect liberty and security at the same time, John.
Yeah, some interesting questions to be answered ahead. Carl Cameron, thank you.